Are you tired of overpriced herbal teas that barely taste like anything? Hi, my name is Marcia and I'm a Black Thumb Gardener. I do all things gardening with a little bit of travel and I live in Ontario, Canada, USDA Zone 5B. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe, and if you're a subscriber already, welcome back. Today, I'm gonna show you how to grow your own delicious herbal tea from home, right from my own backyard. Let's go. So a few months ago, we did a little trip to the Seed Exchange downtown Toronto. And at that Seed Exchange event, I picked up this tea gardening book. And I've been sitting and reading and absorbing all of the information. And this book has been fantastic. I have been learning so much. Real tea, your normal black, white, green tea, is actually from a plant called Camellia sinensis. And I'm not growing that plant this year. And Camellia sinensis is what gives you the caffeine in your tea, whether it's black, white, or green. We're going to be growing what's called herbal tea. And herbal teas are what you commonly think of: peppermint, lemon balm, chamomile, holy basil, or tulsi. Those are what you consider to be your herbal teas. They're not caffeinated. They won't have any caffeine in them because we're not growing that Camellia sinensis plant. Now I'm going to talk about the 4 different parts of a plant that you can steep tea from. And the 4 different parts consist of the leaves, the flowers, the seeds and fruit, and the last but not least, the roots. Those are the 4 different categories you can steep tea from different plants. Now, not every plant you can do the same thing with. So I'm going to go through which plants work well in each of these categories so that when you're growing them in your garden, you know what part of the plant that you should be harvesting for tea. Now, let's go through leaves and let's head outside because I do have some of these plants in my garden. The first category I'm going to be planting are leaves, and in this category, I'm going to be planting lemon balm, lemon verbena, lemongrass, mint, and tulsi. The first one we're going to start with is lemon verbena. Now, I bought this plant at the nursery because it takes a very long time to grow this one from seed. And for lemon verbena, you can use the leaves and flowers of this plant. It makes a really nice lemonade, and as you can imagine, the flavor tone is lemon. My entire tea garden is being grown in containers this year, and I'm going to be stuffing some other plants in this container and growing a lot of my other plants throughout the garden. Second plant we're going to be adding is lemongrass, and I started this one from seed. This one also has a lemony taste profile. Now for lemongrass, you're going to harvest the stem and the leaves. And a fun fact, you can also use lemongrass as part of a cleaning solution because it does have antibacterial and antifungal properties. It also has citronella oil, so you can use it to repel those mosquitoes in the summer. For our third plant, we have lemon balm, and this was started back in March from seed. And you guessed it, we have a lemon theme going on here in this container. And lemon balm is great when you harvest the leaves and flowers for tea making. It makes a really good hot or cold cup of tea. The flavor is best before the plant produces flowers, and you need to air dry the leaves if you are preserving it. Our fourth plant is holy basil, known as tulsi basil, and I started this one from seed. You can harvest the leaves and flowers and it makes a wonderful tea. The taste profile is more of a spicy clove flavor with hints of sweet mint, flowers, and black pepper. The last plant I'm growing in the leaf category is mint, and you definitely want to keep this one in a container because it's a spreader. Now I'm growing different varieties of mint this year because you can really taste the flavor when you steep it for tea. Next up, we have the flower category, and I'll be growing everything except clover and violet. The first flower on our list is anise hyssop, and this is a new one for me this year that I've started from seed. Now, you can use the flower and leaves for herbal tea, or they can be used in fresh salads. The taste profile is a bit sweet with a bit of mint and soft licorice. You can harvest the leaves at any time, but the flowers are best harvested after they fully formed and are bright purple. The second flower that I'm planting is bachelor's buttons, and you're going to be using the flower for this for tea making. It can be brewed on its own or with other herbs. Now, you can use bachelor buttons in soap making and also for body care products. I started this one from seed through my winter sowing method, and if you're interested in learning more about winter sowing, you can check my video link down below. The taste profile for bachelor's buttons is sweet and spicy with a hint of clove. And when you're harvesting this plant, you're going to harvest the flowers in the morning before they fully open. And when you preserve, you're going to tie it into bunches and hang upside down to dry. Or you can use a dehydrator and set it at a low heat. I haven't invested in a dehydrator yet, so I use my oven if I'm going to dry any of my herbs, and that works well. Third flower on the list is calendula, and I'm growing Victoria Sunset this year. Now, calendula is usually known for salves and creams because it has antibacterial, antifungal, and antiseptic properties. But did you know you can harvest the flowers and leaves to make tea? The next flower on the list is chamomile, and you're going to steep the flowers in hot water to make a tea. The taste profile is sweet with a herbaceous flavor, but it can be bitter if steeped for too long. The next flower is known for its calming qualities, and that's lavender. And yes, my seeds are very tiny because I started these seeds too late. Lavender can be challenging to grow from seed, so you want to start these about 8 to 12 weeks before your last frost. The last flower on the list is roselle or hibiscus. This is actually the zinger hibiscus from Renee's garden, and this is the second year that I'm growing hibiscus from seed. As a tea, hibiscus can be brewed hot or cold, and it has this really cool red color. I've added flowers to mine for some decoration. The part of the flower that you're going to harvest is the calyx. Once the flower blooms, the calyx covers the seed pod, and that's the part that you're going to harvest. It looks like this in the video. Now, once you harvest those calyxes, remember the seed pod is still inside and you don't want to use that part. So what you're going to do is you're going to peel off the calyxes separate from the seed pods, and that's what you're going to use to dry. My background is Jamaican, and during the holidays, my mom would always make a drink out of hibiscus called sorrel. The flavor is tart, lemony, and mildly sweet, and sometimes she would put alcohol in it. The fruits and seed category is still a work in progress for me, but I am growing a few things that are on this list. Let's check them out. For fruits and seeds, I'm going to start with strawberry because it's such a versatile plant when it comes to steeping tea. You can use the fruits, leaves, and flowers, and strawberries are often used as a base for any herbal tea. If you have a small garden like me and you're running out of space, having a vertical garden makes sense. Now, I'm growing strawberries in my green stock, and it has been such a game changer over these past few years. And I strongly encourage that if you are thinking about growing vertical, that the green stock is the way to go. And if you want to see more about the green stock, you can check out my video in the links below. Same goes for raspberries. You can steep the fruit in leaves for tea. Berries have a sweet and tart flavor, but the leaves are mild enough that it can be a great base with any herbal blend. The last one on the list is blueberries that I have in my garden, and you're going to harvest the fruit to make tea. You can dry the berries and they can be added to any tea blend, or you can freeze them and they can be used for iced tea. Hey guys, the plants on this list are best used when their roots are boiled in water. I did miss dandelion off this list. I consider it a weed, but I know there are tons of benefits from dandelion root, but let's check out this list anyways. Ginger is one of those plants that's very hard to find in a garden center and most likely needs to be started by yourself at home. Now, I start ginger early in the year around February because it does take a long time to grow, and you're going to harvest the roots and leaves in order to make a tea. Ginger is great to have in your tea cabinet because it's known to have anti-inflammatory properties and can be used as a digestive aid. To start your own ginger at home, grab some organic ginger from the grocery store, soak for 24 hours, and place the bottom half in potting mix. This year, I've planted ginger along the edges of my raised beds. Lastly, echinacea is a great flower to have in your garden. You can use the roots, flowers, and leaves for a strong floral and earthy flavor. Echinacea is also great at helping to ease cold and flu symptoms. We can't finish our tea journey without talking about something to sweeten it with, and I'm adding stevia to my list this year. Now, stevia is really hard to grow from seed. Trust me, I have tried, and I just prefer to buy starts from the nursery. Now, the time when you harvest stevia is right before flowering when the leaves are the sweetest. And then all you do is crush and dry the leaves, and there you have it, a natural organic sweetener. I'm just going to take a moment to tuck in a few more plants into this container, but that's the start of my herbal tea garden. I'll be sharing updates throughout the season on how things grow, how I harvest and dry the herbs, and of course some of my favorite blends to brew. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what herbs you love to use for tea. Happy growing everyone, and happy sipping. See you next time.